back in the early 90s, there weren't many cars around that could accelerate like a 220. Lots of people still don't know what they are. People who do realise what they are can't believe they've seen one. It was launched in 1988 by Jaguar, and it was their flagship supercar. We were racing at the time with an XJS, which had a 7-litre, 700 brake horsepower V12 race engine. So we had Jaguar in the blood. We purchased all the remaining stock from Jaguar. We keep a database of the cars and who owns them. There isn't really anywhere else to send your XJ220. To keep lots of the cars on the road, it's been a really interesting journey. It was the fastest car in the world and one of the most beautiful. Initially, the XJ220 was a 4-wheel drive V12. It was very soon decided not to go the V12 route. They went for rear-wheel drive and a V6 twin turbo, which actually I think makes the car much better than it would have been. Much more nimble. The V6 engine's half the size and weight of the V12. But the economy collapse in the late 80s, early 90s was the major issue with the XJ220. It was never the fact that the car was a bad car for not having the V12 engine. There's around 280 cars made, and in the late 90s Jaguar still had several cars in stock because of the recession. The cars were being sold at much reduced prices. But people started to appreciate what they are and realised that all the bad press initially was not directly related to the car. We bought a car to race. It was a pre-production car that had spent its life doing some racing in the early years, and then we bought several cars from TWR that were left over from the Fastmasters race series. That kind of started us out with what we were doing. When we couldn't get bits, we had to make them, so we started sort of becoming a parts department as well. We were just doing anything we needed to do to keep the cars on the road or on the track at the time. Jaguar pretty much handed everything over to us when their 10-year obligation to supply parts was up. We were already manufacturing parts before then and supplying Jaguar. And we also took delivery of all of the press tooling for the aluminium body panels. We keep them all in stock, so it's very useful when we need to remanufacture body panels. There are some upgrades that are done to XJ220s. We're up to about 800 horsepower in one of our cars, and we know we can get easily more. They're very tunable. We also have the original CAD tool, which is a full-size wooden XJ220, which is an amazing piece of the 220 story. The van was kind of a myth. Lots of people had talked about it. Even I wasn't sure whether it actually existed. We managed to buy it from TWR when they were still in existence. They were using it for engine development and durability testing. And the story goes that the engine and transmission unit was ready before the first chassis was. And they set about fitting the engine and transmission into it. A couple of years ago we finished 10th overall at the Goodwood Festival of Speed with the van. It has XJ220 performance. When you look at an XJ220, it doesn't look like an 80s supercar to me. A lot of people say it doesn't age. Now people are starting to use them. It's been fantastic going from my very first drive in an XJ220 to racing the cars, getting to work on lots of the cars that are in existence. I think most people are amazed to see so many of these cars all in one place. We found ourselves in the position that we're in by our passion. It makes me quite proud to see what we've achieved with the Mark. A lot of the car's history would have been forgotten and lost had we not been there to show interest in it. And that's the only reason why everything now is under one roof, is because we really cared from day one.